Aeroplanes, aeroplanes, all in a row. Aeroplanes, aeroplanes, ready to go. Engines are starting to buzz and to hum. Engines are turning, so come along. Now we are flying up into the sky, higher and higher and ever so high. I know that's your favorite song, and the reason I did it this morning was to remind you about that aeroplane engine. Aeroplanes have huge big engines, and that's why they were able to move pretty quickly. And because they move quickly, people like to travel that way, so they can get from one place to the other quite quickly. But today we are not going to work with aeroplanes. We are going to work with racing cars. Okay, and that's why I started off with a song that is talking about the aeroplanes flying very fast. Okay, and now today we are going to make a racing car. Okay, he's not an ordinary car. He's got a very special engine, and he's got a very special body too. His body is long and thin. We say it's streamlined so that he can move quickly. Okay, it's nice big tires on the car, so they heat up, and the heat makes him move very quickly and fast. Okay, so a racing car is not a car that we drive on the streets. We drive it on a racetrack because we can't drive it nicely on the street. We'll have horrible accidents, and the traffic cops will be saying, you're going way too fast. All right, so it's a vehicle that is going to move extremely quickly, okay, because of its engine. Aeroplanes also can move extremely quickly because they're very high-powered engines. Okay, but what you're going to do today is you're actually going to go through all the steps that you need to make a racing car. Okay, so you're going to turn to this page in your book. And I'm just going to show you what you should be doing, but you're going to read in the steps. These words here say ingredients. So those are all the things you're going to need. A packet of boudoir biscuits, icing sugar, Smarties, and jelly babies. So ingredients means all the stuff you're going to have, okay? Here it says utensils. Those are all the tools you're going to need to be able to work with and bake and make your racing car. Right, now step 1 says you've got to have a biscuit, okay? So I do have my biscuit. Step 2 says you must make sure you've made up your icing. There's my icing, right? Step 3 says, see what step 3 says? You must put 4 sweets on your biscuit, on the left and right side of the biscuit. And now you can see it's starting to look like a racing car. Step 4 says, take a jelly baby, and what's the knife showing you? You've got to cut it in half. Right, you add your jelly baby with your icing sugar, and then it says a big smiley face, you must eat. Okay, so now I'm not going to do all of this with you because I would like you to do it step by step. Okay, so I have got the ingredients with me. I do have a knife, I do have a bowl, okay, but I didn't use a teaspoon. So you must go from each step, and you must read from left to right and top to bottom. Now I'm going to show you a few tricks with mine because I didn't have Smarties, and I really don't want Mommy and Daddy to go off and to buy anything that they don't need to buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I had these little sweets at home, and I had these big sweets, these ones. So instead of using Smarties, I'm going to use these. Okay, So it said to me, I must take my biscuit. And now what must I do with my biscuit? If you read there, it says I must put on how many? 4 wheels. Okay, so 1, I'm going to put my icing on the biscuit and hope it lasts. And 2, okay, so I've got one side of my biscuit, wheels on. I like these big wheels, they look like proper racing tires. Okay, I've got 2 wheels on. What must I do now? I must put another 2 on, same thing. Take my icing sugar. I'm going to put my biscuit down so I can put my icing sugar on my biscuit. 2, 1, 2. Okay, I need another 2 sweets. 1. And now I'm going to use both fingers, press them together. 2. Okay, turn my biscuit over. There. Right, now you can see I've got my 4 wheels, and this is going to be my racing car. Okay, then what I need to do, I'm going to leave it on the side, which gives the icing a chance. Oopsie, that didn't work. A chance for the icing to stick. Okay, I'm going to leave it on the side. Okay, that one went away. What I need to do now, take my jelly baby, and I need to take my knife, cut it in half. I'm going to do that. Oh, he doesn't want to be cut in half. So I cut him a bit, pulled him a bit, put some icing on a bit. Right. Now I need to put him on my car. And there he is. And look what's happened. Right. My wheels need, whoopsie, a little bit more sticking on. Okay. Stick them on. Okay, so you must have 4 wheels on your biscuit. And you've got a jelly baby in the middle. So that should be a lot of fun to do. But why are we doing it? We're doing it because it's technology exercise. There it is. I just want to hold the wheels. Whoops, can you see? There he goes. Okay, now what I'm going to let happen, and you can see what's happening here. The wheels are coming off a little bit. I'm going to let it dry so the icing sugar can go hard. And then we're able to eat it. Okay, now I don't want mommy to go and spend a lot of money. So if you haven't got all those ingredients, what are you going to do? You're going to take your Play-Doh. You're going to roll it out so it looks like a biscuit. Right, so long and fat to get your biscuit. Then what are you going to do? Roll 4 balls, squash them a little bit, and put them at the side. Right? And then you will have, this will be your car, the long bit you rolled first, and the 4 little bits of dough that you rolled are going to be your wheels. You're going to put your wheels on, and then on the top, you can make your little man. So you don't have to go out and buy a lot of stuff to do this exercise. What you can do is you can just mold it out of dough if you haven't got all the stuff at home, if you haven't got all the ingredients. Okay, and why are we doing it? To remind us that some vehicles can travel very quickly, some can travel very slowly, and this activity is teaching you to make things, and that's called technology. How fancy is that? So this morning, although you've done some bake and make, you've also done some technology. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're clever and you've got a lot of biscuits at home, what you could do is, if you can remember how Luke showed us to make an aeroplane, you can make an aeroplane out of these biscuits as well. But then you're going to have to think on how you're going to make the aeroplane. Anyway, I hope you read your instructions, you get your ingredients, and you have your utensils, and you're able to make your little racing car. There's mine. He's dried a bit. Okay, I didn't use the Smarties, and he's perfect. Ready to be eaten. See you all soon.